Some people have never once said, I like myself, I like my gifts, I like my personality, I like my look, I am happy with who God made me to be. I am asking you to feel good about who you are. You may not be where you want to be, but you are on the way. God is changing you from glory to glory. Start enjoying the glory that you are in right now. You may have some weaknesses. We all do. Don't you dare go through life against yourself. God is saying today, you are my beloved son, my beloved daughter, in whom I am well pleased. Now, do your part. When's the last time you thanked God for how He made you? You see, we are so overwhelmed with what's wrong in our lives. We never thank God for what's right. It says, your workmanship is marvelous. Listen, God doesn't make junk, and He made you. When God laid out the plan for your life, He carefully studied it. He thought about what you would need and what it would take to get you there. He gave you the talent you need, the strength, the confidence. You are the right size. You are the right looks. You are the right personality. You come from the right family. You are not lacking. You didn't get shortchanged. You are good enough. You are talented enough. You are smart enough. You are attractive enough. You have been fearfully and wonderfully made. You are more beautiful than you can see. You have no idea how beautiful you are. It's true. God made you beautiful. You are beautiful. You are attractive. You are one of a kind. You have been crowned with favor. You are a prize. Have an image of victory. You are not weak, defeated, overcome by problems. You are a warrior. You have been armed with the strength for every battle. You are full of can-do power. The forces that are for you are greater than forces that are against you. You are stronger than you know. Stronger than you know. Throughout history, countless individuals have faced seemingly impossible situations. Yet, time and time again, they emerged victorious. How? By placing their trust in a higher power and allowing God to guide their path. But this isn't just about historical figures. This is about you, right here, right now. You may be facing a battle that feels overwhelming, and it's natural to question, why are you going through it? But I want to remind you that God is with you every step of the way. So, how can you turn your battles into blessings? It starts with shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, view them as stepping stones towards a brighter future. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. This verse reminds us that God can transform our battles into blessings, using all circumstances for our ultimate good. In the book of Exodus, the Israelites found themselves trapped between the pursuing Egyptian army and the vast expanse of the Red Sea. It seemed like an insurmountable battle with no escape. But God intervened in a miraculous way. Moses, the leader of the Israelites, stretched out his staff over the sea. And by the power of God, the waters were divided, forming a dry path through the sea. The Israelites walked through the midst of the sea on dry ground, while the walls of the water stood on both sides. As the Egyptian army attempted to pursue them, God caused confusion and chaos among the Egyptians. He then instructed Moses to stretch out his hand over the sea once again. When Moses did so, the waters rushed back, engulfing the pursuing army and delivering a decisive victory to the Israelites. What initially seemed like an impossible battle turned into a remarkable blessing. The Israelites witnessed firsthand the deliverance and power of God. Their enemies who sought to harm them were defeated, and the Israelites were set free to continue their journey towards the promised land. This story reveals that God can take on most daunting battles and turn them into blessings. When all hope seems lost, He has the power to make a way where there seems to be no way. The crossing of the Red Sea demonstrates that God is not limited by human circumstances, but can bring about extraordinary outcomes that ultimately work for the good of His people. It reminds us to trust in God's providence even in the face of seemingly impossible challenges, knowing that He can transform our battles into blessings beyond our wildest expectations. No matter how fierce or overwhelming your battle may seem, take heart and find strength in the assurance that God is with you. He is not only a mighty warrior who fights on your behalf, but also a loving Father who can take even the most difficult situations and transform them into blessings. When you entrust your struggles to Him, He works behind the scene, weaving together a masterpiece of grace, redemption, and ultimate victory. In His perfect timing and infinite wisdom, He turns your trials into stepping stones that lead to a greater blessing and growth. What may appear as defeat or despair in the moments will be transformed into a testimony of faithfulness and provision. Embrace the truth that God is working all things together for your good, and hold on to the unwavering hope that He will indeed turn your battles into blessings. So, stand firm, keep your eyes fixed on Him, and press on with confidence, knowing that your journey is leading you towards a glorious destination that far surpasses anything you could ever imagine. As described in Psalm chapter 30, verse 11 and 12, You turned my wailing into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy, that my heart may sing your praises and not be silent. Lord my God, I will praise you forever. God has the ability to transform our sorrow into joy and replace our mourning with praise, taking our battles and turning them into blessings. In the Bible, there is a story of Joseph that illustrates how God can transform battles into blessings. Joseph was a young man who faced numerous challenges and trials. His brothers, out of jealousy, sold him as a slave into Egypt. While in Egypt, Joseph experienced further hardships. He was falsely accused of a crime and imprisoned. However, even in the midst of his struggles, Joseph remained faithful to God. He used his God-given gift of interpreting dreams to help others, including Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt. Eventually, Pharaoh had a troubling dream that none of his wise men could interpret. It was then that Joseph was summoned, and though God's guidance correctly explained the dream, impressed by Joseph's wisdom, Pharaoh appointed him as a second in command all over Egypt. As a result of God's favor on Joseph, he was able to save Egypt and surrounding nations from a severe famine. Joseph's rise to power and his ability to provide for his family during the famine served as a blessing in disguise. In the end, Joseph's brothers came to Egypt seeking food, unknowingly encountering their long-lost brother. Instead of seeking revenge, Joseph forgave them, recognizing that God had used his trials to bring about a greater purpose. You intended to harm me, but God intended. Sir.